Hey, hello there, welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to talk about this Zskera vaults? Zskera vaults? Is it a silent Z? I don't know. Zskera vaults. We're going to talk about that. It's a new feature of patch 10.07. We're going to talk about my early thoughts on it. This is not going to be like an overview of the system as such. Well, it is kind of going to be. We'll talk about how it works. But like once it's all fleshed out on the PTR, we'll obviously make a whole video saying everything about this, you know, all that kind of stuff. But this is more of my like kind of unfiltered, unscripted thoughts on the Zskera vaults. There's a lot of like misconceptions about this feature, and I just kind of want to clear that up from testing. But before we jump into all my thoughts and everything like that, I just want to shout out my Twitch, twitch.tv/WizardGM. If you want to see me stream World of Warcraft, patch 10.07 PTR, Dragonflight retail, any sort of World of Warcraft, I'm over on twitch.tv/WizardGM every single day. Right, so yeah, Zskera vaults, or I guess we'll call it Zskera. I don't know, Zskera vaults. I'm sure Blizzard will come out with the official pronunciation at some point. So this is a new feature of 10.07 for the Forbidden Reach. So 10.07 brings back the Forbidden Reach. The Drakthir Evoker starting zone is coming back as a kind of zone that you can do things in 10.07. So the zone itself I spoke about at length with the other video that I did on my early thoughts on 10.07. Specifically, this is like, you know, a part of that. It's a bit of a fun side thing. I've seen people say Torghast 2.0 or DOM sockets 2.0. It's like, no, that's not what this is. It's not. It's definitely not Torghast. It is definitely not Torghast. Don't worry about that. I see people really freaking out about that, but it's not. And to be honest, it's completely optional as well, so you don't even need to do it. So if you don't want to do it, if you don't want to try and pronounce the Zskera vaults, then don't bother, because you don't have to do it. So let's talk about it. So currently right now on the PTR, we're in a bit of a weird like early phase where we could kind of just jump into things. I think there will be some sort of unlock for this, or some sort of storyline reason why we go down there or whatever. But right now it's kind of like just open. It's a dragon scale thing. Essentially, I believe it's like Neltharion's like old vault where he used to do research and things like that. So once you get down there, it's essentially just a bunch of doors that are locked. And I believe this area was taken from the Drakthir starting zone, obviously, because it is a Forbidden Reach. So you have a bunch of doors that are locked, and behind all these doors are different various little activities or puzzles or things like that. So each of these doors need a key. The keys come from rares on the Forbidden Reach. Every single rare, and I believe chests as well, drop these Zskera vault keys. So you're going to need, you know, a ton of those. They're not account wide. They're just BOP, I believe, and you can just go pick them up from various rares and stuff around the Forbidden Reach. Obviously, because it's PTR, there's a bunch of rares around all the time. But once it goes live, I don't know how plentiful these keys are going to be honest. But I guess we'll see. Right now on PTR as well is the vault changes every single day. So the vaults have different names. There's one called like As, Z, and some other stuff. They're all just like short little names, but they change every single day, I believe, and it seems like, anyway, on live, this might be a weekly rotation. So say like, you know, one day you go in and open 3 doors, you could go back the next day and open another 3, and that'll kind of save your progress as such. But right now on the PTR, it's resetting on the reset every single day. So I don't know if that's going to be there when it happens. So yeah, so TLDR so far of what I've explained. You go down there. It's free to go in, you can go as much as you like, but the keys you need to get from rares and chests and things, and you open up the doors. Inside the doors, as mentioned, is kind of like a puzzle. So sometimes it's just nothing, or it's just like an NPC that you kill, and it drops nothing, or there's a chest there, and it will open, and it have a temporary currency, so there'll be some sort of other currency going on there. Or there'll be some lore, there's some lore books and stuff in there, which is kind of fun. Or sometimes, as mentioned, it's kind of like a puzzle. So, for example, like one would be like covered in flames, and you can't get to the chest, but if you open another door, there'll be like a gem that you press, and it gives you a flame shield, and you can run and use that flame shield to get to the flamey chest. Now, as mentioned, the chests do have temporary currency. They also do have these primordial stones. So this is the whole like DOM socket 2.0 system that people are talking about, which it really is not, because essentially all it is just like a catch-up damage mechanic for Season 1 of Dragonflight. But essentially the way that this works is you get a ton of these stones from these vaults, so they're just in the chests or just lying around or whatever. And these stones go into the Onyx Amulet, which is a new item that was just on the floor as you walk in the vault for the very first time, so it doesn't look like there's a big quest line to get that. Again, could be PTR, but essentially this is just a ring with 3 sockets in it, and you can put those sockets in that you get from the vault. Now, I believe Blizzard did say there's going to be an upgrade system, there's going to be a different like deterministic way of getting them. That's not in right now. All there is right now is that the sockets are picked up from random chests, and you can put them in the amulet, and the amulet makes them work. It's essentially like the Mechagon trinket, but a ring, and not as cool, but you know, it's still there. But yeah, you're not going to use this in Season 2. This is literally just to help you progress more and better in Season 1. So 10.07 is going to be the last small patch of this season, Dragonflight Season 1, and then Season 2 will start on 10.1. So we probably don't have that long with this, but it's a bit of fun and a bit of help with catching up there. So other than that, though, I mean, beyond the gems and the ring, there's no gear in here. There's toys, there's pets, nothing too extravagant. No mounts so far, at least, that we've seen. There's no mounts popped up. So it's really just kind of a side project. It's definitely not Torghast, as mentioned for the 4th time. Definitely not Torghast, and it's not islands, and it's not anything like that. It's essentially just go in there, you know, get some vault keys from the rares, open it up, get some gems for your silly little ring. But I would imagine once you get your BIS gems for the ring, you're probably not going to bother trying to get any more. So again, there might be more to it with currency and things like that, which is why I didn't want to make this like, oh, this is everything about it, because we just don't know, right? And we're just kind of fiddling around on the PTR, messing around, jumping in there, opening doors, seeing what's behind it. You know, it's all a bit crazy and all a bit mad. Blizzard haven't really said a ton about it either, which is interesting, but it is kind of a side activity, at least, for the Forbidden Reach stuff, which just seems like a lot more of the same. If you are, you know, already decked out in full heroic gear, it's pretty unlikely you're going to use any of this stuff. Maybe the ring. The ring is 411, so there's a chance you might use the ring for its cool abilities. Like, there's stuff like, you know, movement will build up this charge and you'll do an ability, or if every time you get healed, you get healed for more, and things like that. Kind of like fun procs, but you get 3 of them in the ring, so it's kind of a fun ring. But I'll do a whole video about the ring and all the things you can get from that once the system is more fleshed out. We can talk about it. We can talk about how it all works. I think that'll be fun. But for right now, just want to kind of throw a video together talking about the Zskera vaults, kind of, you know, make you feel a little bit better about it not being Torghast. Because I keep seeing it, and the Doomers are on, you know, they're not looking too good. So, yeah, Zskera vaults, interesting side project, interesting side little hustle adventure that you do on the Forbidden Reach. It's all right, I guess. I think we need to see more. I think we need to see what is the point of all this, I guess, in a sense. And I think there is definitely like glaring missing parts of it right now on the PTR. But as we progress through the PTR, we'll see, you know, more and more builds will come in, and eventually you'll see a video from me just kind of explaining every, you know, part of it. But yeah. So yeah, there you go. A little video to talk about this Zskera vaults of patch 10.07, some early thoughts and feelings and whatnot. You know, I'm not too bothered by it. It seems okay. It seems like a fun little side thing. Maybe, you know, could be precedent for something in 10.1. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But thank you very much for watching, guys. If you like this video, please do like it and subscribe to the channel. It'd be very much appreciated. And if you want to support me elsewhere, I have a Patreon, and you can check me out on Twitter at MrGMYT. And I also have a Discord as well. So if you want to check that out, links are all down below. Also, as mentioned, I am streaming on twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me testing stuff, checking out the PTR, checking out retail, doing completionist content, any sort of stuff like that, I'm over on twitch.tv/MrGM every single day. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.